Hello everyone, welcome back to my show, NainaMD, Beverly Hills, Fusion of Science and Beauty. And my next topic and my next guest is a unique topic because this one is about tattoo, medical tattoo. Everyone goes and gets a tattoo, but what is medical tattoo? It is so important in anti-aging and regenerative medicine. It is so important in reconstructive surgery, oncology. There is such a place for this, and very few people know how to do it right and safe. That is the most important thing. My next guest is going to educate you on this topic. That's Ferris Strachan.
Hi.
She's a clinical esthetician by training, and she does a lot of medical tattooing. Yes. You really specialize in this, haven't you?
Yes.
I'm so glad to have. Well, so glad to have you on my show. I know you've come on my radio show, and we had a fabulous audience and response. So I wanted to bring you back on and really talk about what is this medical tattooing.
It can be used for breast cancer.
That's really why I wanted you to come on the show and talk about it, because this is, it is incredible. I can't even tell when women have had breast reconstruction surgery, and medical tattooing is a very important part of it, right?
Yes, and the thing is that in 1998, a lot of women don't know about this, but it's important to share. In 1998, President Clinton signed a bill that any woman that wants to get reconstructive surgery, whether it be medical tattooing or the areola redone after breast cancer, it is a law, a federal law that the insurance should pay or has to pay. And a lot of women don't know about this. And so the insurance companies won't pay. But even if a woman decides in 50 years they want to have medical tattooing and make it 3D, and I brought pictures so they'll understand.
Yeah.
The insurance companies must pay, so it's a federal obligation.
So they really, this is
so that's important to know.
Yeah.
So if I may, let me just kind of separate tattooing to medical tattooing, because we get that mixed up.
And
right?
I think it's what I really want to get into is that there's so much. We're getting as a much more toxic environment. We're getting our immune systems are going. Sometimes we're not having the best immune systems. Our diet's not as good. So what the inks? Let's just talk about the inks first. What is the safety of the inks? Because so many times I have very sensitive skin. That's why I'm so afraid to just go get a tattoo, because I'm worried that I'm going to react. So talk about the inks.
Yes, and it gets really confusing.
Is it different? Yeah, it's different from the ordinary inks, isn't it?
Right.
That's the point.
Yes, because the tattoo, they want the ink, the black ink, which is made up of carbon. They want it to stay a long time, the black ink. So that's a tattoo ink, okay? And it's usually called Chinese ink, tattoo ink, black ink. They have all these names for it. But regarding permanent medical tattooing, it's semi-permanent. So let me just share. They're called either inorganic or organic. Okay. And I just brought a couple of notes because it gets really confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, organic. You're going to hear the word called vegetable dyes, and everyone. About 10 years ago, everyone was jumping on the bandwagon and saying organic for the dyes.
Right.
But that's not good, because if somebody is allergic to berries and they
make
make it from or vegetables,
then you have to know which vegetable dye,
right?
Because they may have some vegetable allergies to vegetables,
right? And the sensitivity or the allergic reaction won't show up till it could show up 20 years later. So I don't advocate those.
So what about the inorganic? Now what's the composition of inorganic?
Yeah, inorganic is iron oxides, and that has been proven. That's what we use in mineral makeup. We use in eyeshadows, lipsticks,
almost everything.
Everything.
Iron
synthetic.
Oxides are really but they're in almost everything. Everything in nature. Is iron oxides.
Yes.
We have them in sunscreens. We have them in makeup, mineral makeup. Very few people, I would say, are allergic to iron oxides. I mean, obviously, and it would still be easy because you could simply see, do you have an allergy to iron oxide, and that would rule it out, rather than doing all of the allergy testing. We don't know which component the vegetable dyes or which vegetable component is there in the organic. I tend to agree with you. I think the inorganic iron oxide dyes are really good for the medical tattooing.
So it's important to note that in the inorganic dyes there is a little bit of nickel. So if somebody is sensitive to nickel, you want to tell your technician. But there's never been a lawsuit or anything against the inorganic dyes.
So what would happen, because a lot of people are now getting sensitive to nickel jewelry, right?
Yes, yes.
So would those people then have to be careful with the nickel?
I would be cautious, but you can still do it.
Okay.
You know, because think about it, needles, probes are all made of nickel. So, you know, it's just the FDA, they don't even, the amount of nickel in there is non-reactive. It's hardly at all.
So so in other words, have you seen people with nickel allergies to jewelry and everything, but yet they do just fine with
Just fine, yes.
Okay, all right.
It's
that's
just,
great
it's
to
just
know.
you want to
That's
bring
really
it
good
to
know.
their attention,
Yeah,
you know.
that's good to know.
And with that being said, so I just think it's important to know, and with the medical tattoo industry, it's not regulated. You know, you can take a weekend class,
that's why I brought the whole awareness, is because everyone is so quick to jump to getting tattoos, and
Yes.
they're not understanding that, you know what, okay, at least we're talking today about medical tattooing. You get information about that, but that will make you more aware of some of the questions to ask when you do go in and just get your regular tattoos. You want to ask, what is in this Chinese ink?
Right.
You know, am I going to review your own allergens? You know, think about all the things that you're allergic to, and then go and see when you're having this permanent ink put in your system or your body. Find out what it is, and I would definitely be able to have like a product that you can visualize to know and see all the ingredient listing. Have somebody provide you with that before you get this tattooing done.
Yes.
Even on a just a cosmetic basis.
Yes, and that also it's not even the allergic reaction to India ink, because many people aren't allergic to it. What it does is it migrates. So a lot of people will use it as eyeliners because it stays a long time. But the issue is it migrates, it moves. So that's why you never want to use that. The iron oxides will not. Okay? And
so I don't see why is it that the regular let's say when you go and have your tattoos done or your permanent makeup done, why aren't the iron oxides? Is it more expensive, or
a little more expensive? It's more
see?
skilled. It's a little harder to use.
That's why. So it's more,
you know,
that because as I understand it, it is more difficult to use. So you have to have somebody who's really trained well. Trained well. So this is audience, listen to this, because this is really important. You need to have somebody who's trained well and who understands what these different dyes contain and can work with them.
And I just want to add, that's why the National Areola and Nipple Registry.
I know you're part of it, aren't you?
Yes, was created because it was to help women. It was to help doctors, nurses, and breast cancer patients to find qualified people. So you can't just be a part of that unless you're certified. You have to have a portfolio. You have to take postgraduate classes.
I would look that person up and then have them do my cosmetic.
Yes,
and say,
yes.
You know what? Because you know how to do this medical tattooing, I want you to do my other tattooing. You know, anywhere else.
Yes, and I want to point this out because this happened to me. So lots of times people are good technicians, but they're not artistic at all. Or some of them are artistic, but they're not technically correct. So you want to find somebody who's artistic background, maybe does art, and also very detailed, like maybe electrolysis. You don't have to, but somebody who's detailed. Because I've had a teacher many, many years ago messed up on me. So you have to go to, like, she didn't think she messed up because she didn't have the aesthetic style. So you have to have the aesthetic style, the art background.
It's a balance of the art and the technique.
That's a great way to say it. Yes, yes.
Well, show the machine.
Yes, let me show you. Okay, so this is a digital machine, and what this does is dances over the skin, opposed to the vibration of a tattoo machine that bounces around.
Right.
This will not create edema, any swelling. So if we did your brows or we did your breast, now remember the breast, many women have had
a
lot of radiation, so you don't want to hurt the skin.
Pick that machine up here, right? This is how the machine looks like here.
And it's quiet. It doesn't bounce around like a tattoo
no,
machine.
It's definitely different.
And as you can see a slope, okay? And a slope is similar to if you wanted to do a straight line, like something on a straight line. Here, I brought these. So if I wanted to do around here, this would be this type of needle. It's an angle, just like you'd use an angle brush.
Right.
If I wanted a bigger needle for shading, just like the brush here, I would change it and use a probe that has like maybe 9 needles in it that are round. So you can get the shading technique. You can get the
so that's technique. How you can create the shade and create all the variations and make it look so natural.
And here,
fabulous.
Here, you can see it just go right over, and you can do whatever.
So I'm gonna.
Yeah, put a little
Yeah.
bit of ink.
I'm gonna put the ink in me. Yeah.
And just grab some of the ink.
When I do fillers and all, I'm known to be.
And of course,
aesthetic.
these are disposable,
Yeah.
and
So you
they
can
don't
work-
cross-contaminate.
so-
You know.
So you basically go in this, and then you just kind of.
With the slopes, yeah. And then if you wipe that,
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm getting the feel for this.
you see,
Yeah.
and if you wipe it,
So you can start to work with it and start to create
Yeah.
as much of the lay as much pigment.
yeah, and then you wipe that.
This is very.
and
This is so much better, and the ones that I've seen are the other machines
just
are
show you.
just so noisy, and this is an amazing.
so
yeah.
if you wipe, see if you can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
See, I'm going. It's like a dance. 1, 2, 3. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
No,
And then
this
if
is
you go
beautiful.
like this, there it is there.
Yeah. There's a pigment that's laid down in here. You know.
But you can actually
Beautiful.
shade and make 3D.
So no, this is great. What else? This can easily be used for again for cosmetics too, right? So
For
let's say as
to-
long as you've got somebody who knows how to do the art, who's aesthetic oriented, right? You guys, I need to show you this picture for the alopecia because so much of it we use the Rogaine and all these things. This is something that can easily be added. You know, what is a website? How do people look you up? And
Yeah, www.ferris, F-E-R-R-I-S, ferriscustomfaceandbody.com.
you guys, this has been, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank
This has been
you. Thanks for
amazing.
having me.
And again, I hope you learned something. Go to somebody who's got the aesthetic sense, who's got the art, and who's got the technique right. Technique is everything, and what you're putting in your skin, just pay attention to everything you guys should do, okay? If you want any other information, hit me up at NainaMD.com, NainaMD.com. I'll be back next week. NainaMD, Beverly Hills, Fusion of Science and Beauty.